My name is Jamie Mendoza.
Nice to meet you, Rola Hoffman. Please have a seat.
Would you like a copy of my resume?
Yes, please.
Here you go.
Thank you. Jamie, right?
Yes.
Yeah, tell me a little about you.
Well, I am expected to graduate in May of 2013. I'm in computer studies in St. Xavier. It's a school on 103rd and Pulaski. And at first I was in computer science. I decided to move to computer studies because it suited me more. The professors, they all have PhDs in computing. They work close with all the students. So I had a variety of courses throughout my 4 years, and in those courses, the professors would give you the material to learn from, and then, for example, on Fridays, we would have labs to work on projects. I'm a very eager person. I like to work hard. I am punctual. I like to organize. I would say that that I have good time management, that I like taking on challenges. If I am presented with something new, I would gladly jump on it and get working right away. And as soon as I work on it, the more time I have, and then in case of a problem arises, I'm able to solve that. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. I notice you have some programming languages here that you've taken on your resume. What's your proficiency in them?
Well,
Like, let's say, for example, your PHP knowledge.
in PHP,
Yeah.
we had a course in PHP and SQL where we developed a web page. We had a case project that we took on from the beginning and worked on it all the way to the end. And it was based on Java, a coffee shop named Java. And so throughout each week we developed on that project, on that case project. We used PHP code to program inside the website. We would have multiple pages linked to that website where we use PHP and JavaScript. And in the end of the semester, we had to have the full site working, and we would have the site, and we would use an application platform called WAMP, and we would use a server there, and then we had to do also this project of the shiny Zodiac, and there we would use dynamic pages to switch through the site, present different information, and we had to I think, well, that's it.
But in programming, what was your role? Did you program or did you design? What was your part in that, in these projects?
Well, everyone had to do the same project, so you had to do both. You had to program, design it, do the box layout.
So are you familiar with flow charting then?
Yes, flow charting. We had to do a flow chart and enable in order to see what pages you wanted to go from the home page, from the index, go to page number 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And also so you can prepare yourself, and once you learn something, you could link it to something else that you learned on another day, and be able to implement that into the website.
Okay. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself moving along into progressing in my field, becoming better and better, and working hard, getting wherever I'm working in, supplying them with my skill set and my enthusiasm to work, in order so both of us can grow.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about one of your major achievements you've accomplished so far?
Well, completing college was a major achievement because the courses were quite rigorous. There was a variety of courses, and at first you did not know what was gonna be in the future, but as the courses progressed, you saw links between every single course. So that helped in everything. Like for the websites, I did not know at first about programming languages like PHP, Java, things like that. I just knew like HTML from high school, and then I learned how you could use PHP into the websites and make them better and more complex.
I noticed a lot of your work experience is not really very technical. Do you do any work on this at home with technology, or are you, have you ever set up your own personal network, or it's just what you've taken in classes?
I just set up my own network at home, and just a lot of homework from classes and projects to work on took off most of the time that I had in university to up to now.
Okay. What do you consider your strengths?
My strengths, I would consider the organizational, because I don't like to just jump into things without being prepared. I like to prepare myself at first, list steps, use time management to complete those tasks at a specific time, and that way when I actually get to do the project, I'm able to follow those steps that I wrote down, and in order to finish the project on time and be able to finish it adequately and with effort.
Okay. How about your weaknesses?
My weaknesses, I would say, would have to be I'm not so patient. I like working fast. I like getting things done quickly. So that might be a weakness, but I have learned when I do things quickly, it might leave me time for something else, like problems that would arise. But also I use the planning, makes whatever I'm doing go even quicker, because once you plan everything out, everything else, you just have to follow the steps, and you don't have to stay there and be puzzled.
How do you go about solving a problem?
Solving a problem. First, I have to take a step back and see what the problem really is, what it entails. I have to see what cautions I have to take when I'm going to try to solve the problem. And then I make steps. I like taking things bit by bit, in order to, let's say I do something wrong in one part, and go back and fix that one part, and I have to worry about the whole project. So I like using steps to solve problems.
Why should we hire you?
You should hire me because I am very enthusiastic. I'm always motivated, and I like to provide the skill sets that I have to the company in order for both of us to grow. I also I have worked in many web projects, database projects, programming projects that I think will serve the company well.
Okay. What's the most important factor for you in a job?
The most important factor is obviously the finishing it, getting the work done on time, getting the work done with eagerness, fast, with no errors, and being happy while doing it. That way the people around you will also suck from that happiness and work as hard as you.
Do you work on a team or on your own?
I do both. In most of my jobs, I always work in teams, and that's always a very pleasant thing. For example, in all three jobs, I did both. I worked on teams and by myself. In American Family, I had to work with another person that came in the same time I did, and we worked really close together, and we would fix each other's mistakes. Let's say I did something wrong, he would help me and put input upon that so I can do it better. We did marketing at the beginning because if the company barely arose, so we would go out and hand flyers, ask people if they want a quote. So we would give each other hints on and help on where to go, what neighborhoods. So houses that you thought would need more insurance, things like that. And we would work on teams. We had to call the customers to see if they had made payments. Sometimes the boss would ask one of us to do something, and if, let's say, I wasn't doing anything, I would help him, or vice versa. Also, in the job I'm in right now, I'm a coach, and at first I had to work with other coaches as an assistant coach, so we both work together to assist the kids. And I think the most important time I did group work was this summer in the conveyors, JB conveyors, because all of us had to contribute into installing and constructing the conveyor system for the whole factory, and we had to do that in a specific period of time. We had I think 2 months to complete that, so everyone had to be on it. We had to be fast. We had to always be talking to each other to say watch out with that. It's too heavy, so we needed help from others. We had to do also individual tasks like screwing down the conveyor so they will stay in place, things like that. Individual things that one person had to do and quickly in order for the whole project to run along afterwards. So we did both individual and we mostly group work because we had to all work together to get the whole system in the factory.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Actually, yes. I had a list of questions. I am very interested in pursuing the job, so I would like to know if you could describe a typical day or week in the position.
Okay, the way we work is that you come into the office, you kind of hang up your coat, your hat, whatever, and then you hit the door running. That's what we do. We get calls, we get walk-ins, we get all kinds of issues that arise, and each person is pretty autonomous in trying to find a solution for whatever they're challenged with. So we're looking for someone who's able to work independently, be able to problem solve on their own. At the same time, can also turn to the team if there's something that they're challenged with to look for a better solution or an already existing solution.
What would you say are the biggest challenges to if someone barely going into the job?
I think for us as people coming in and understanding the processes of our organization, and not only that, but also the policies in place that we have to follow. Once people understand that and are able to pick up the technical pieces very quickly, then it's really not a very big challenge once we get to the next point. The hardest thing is the redundancy that some people feel after they've been in the position for a while, because some issues will keep coming back, and then they're still having to, resolve them with other people because now somebody else is being challenged with that problem.
I was wondering what would like a successful first year be like?
All excellence on a performance appraisal. That's what a successful first year would look like.
Also, the job that I'm trying to apply for, I was wondering how it was performed in the past and if there were any room for improvements that you would say?
Well, right now it's an open position that someone moved on to bigger things. I don't say better because we're the best place you can work at. But definitely bigger things, and they needed more challenges and more money because that's important for people. And so really what we're changing, the position is the same. The work, because technology keeps changing, of course, is going to be different as time progresses, but that's really an improvement-wise, it's up to the person and how well they do or how poorly they do. We do have a 90-day probationary period. If someone sucks at it, we do terminate them.
During that probation period, what are you expecting mostly?
There's a lot of feedback. There's a lot of we let you know exactly what we expect you to have completed and what projects we want you to have done, or what projects to work on. Because it's not fair to put someone and throw them kind of down the chute and say, go at it, without telling them exactly what we want from them in return.
Okay, well that's it. Thank you.
Okay, well thank you. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Here's the business card.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.